Hi and welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about context managers, and we're going to be developing our own. This is not something that a lot of Python courses get into, so you should feel pretty good that you're getting this deep into the inner workings of Python and how to do some pretty advanced stuff. In the last section, we looked at files, and particularly at a new bit of syntax that said something like this. I'm just going to put it here, and I'm going to delete it in a moment. With something, 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 as something, 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 colon, and then do stuff. And this here was the context manager. And by context, we mean that the current status of the application at the point in which this block runs is modified by this statement and is controlled by that statement. You could even say it's managed by it. And that means that it modifies the status or the context when you go in, and it also modifies it when you go out. That allows you to do some setup when you start and some teardown when you end. We can create our own context managers, and it's reasonably straightforward, so that we can use that syntax for our database connections. We can see, and I've been pretty explicit throughout this section in, for example, copying and pasting code, we can see that we've got a setup and we've got a teardown. And this happens for every function in this file, pretty much, except for this one that doesn't have a commit. So as you can see, there is here a good idea that is using a context manager so that we don't have to get this done every time. Let's create a context manager for our database connections then, so that we don't have to open and close the connection every time. In order to create a context manager, all we have to do is go into our utils package, for example, and create a new Python file, which I'm going to call database connection.py. This database connection is going to import SQLite 3 because it's going to actually connect to the database and it needs SQLite 3 to connect. And it's going to be a class, database connection class. A database connection, in order to be able to be used as a context manager, it of course needs two dunder methods. Remember, dunder methods are the way that everything happens in Python. And if you want to use a with statement, you need two dunder methods. You need enter and you need exit. Notice how the exit method has a few arguments here. We're going to talk about what these are in the next video, so don't worry too much about them right now. Naturally, the enter dunder method is called when you go into the context manager, right before you start running it, and the exit method is executed right when you leave the context manager. When we now have these two methods, we can go over to database.py, we can remove this SQLite 3 import, and instead we can say from database connection, notice how I'm using a relative import here, .database connection, import database connection class. Now,